Hey there, Taurus. How are we today? Just doing our weekly reading. This week we're doing a singles reading, and sorry, we will be looking at past energy as well as that future energy, that incoming energy that everyone wants to sort of hear about. But we For the past energy there, I do have the Lenormand of Japan deck as well as the Island Time Wellness Oracle. And then when we do move over into sort of incoming energy, we do have the Art Nouveau Lenormand deck as well as the Lovers Oracle. Okay. Um, just let everyone know. Make sure you leave a comment so that we can put you in the draw for that free personal reading, and obviously subscribe so you can keep updated when that comes around as well. But moving straight on into it for you today, Taurus. Taurus and past love energy, please. Taurus and past love connections and energy, please. Taurus. Okay, and just wanting to grab one to clarify that fourth card there. Just clarity for that fourth card, please. Okay, yep, cool. All right, and I'll grab some oracle for you as well. Taurus and past love, please. Taurus and past love. Okay, so we're seeing an interesting progression there. Okay, so I feel as though this is the past relationship. It was something that you thought was super stable at the time. This is the house card, obviously. You may have, started a family in this past connection. The house does sometimes represent family connections. But really just that sense of security and stability that you thought was there in this past connection. The oracle corresponding to that section there, we have the kisses card, which that does say unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection, falling in love. Okay, so we definitely are seeing that in a past connection, you did feel as though, it was sort of an unconditional connection, and, you were quite stable in that connection. But then we are seeing that, something kind of suddenly happened with that connection. So we do have the scythe there, which does talk about, sudden, unexpected break and change from that situation. And that came out with the whip card as well. Okay, so the whip card does talk about troubles and tensions and a lot of drama and that kind of stuff. So we are seeing that there was suddenly some tension, some trouble with that connection, and it did sort of lead to a break by the feel of that there. I'm feeling that there was quite a lot of drama involved in whatever happened there. It feels like it was quite unexpected and sudden too, to be going from this house sort of stable energy where you thought this was a super stable connection, to then suddenly go into this whip energy. It is a big change just in the energy. So whatever's happened with you in the past connection there, it has got a lot of you know drama attached to it, a lot of tension and stress for you there, Taurus, has been connected to that. So something has sort of happened really suddenly that's kind of broken that connection, I feel. And that has come out with the Golden Mirror Oracle there, which that one does say self-absorbed, narcissist, one-sided relationship and love bombing. So, there obviously was an element within that connection, where we are looking at one person in that connection, I feel as though being the cause of so much tension for you. Okay, so I'm feeling like you were probably, you felt that this was a stable connection, and a family type connection because, you were the one giving so much to this connection, is what I'm kind of feeling, that you were willing to give somebody your unconditional love, and you were willing to give and give all this affection. But then it turned out to be quite one-sided, and they weren't, they were more involved with themselves rather than you. obviously, you know, as with all readings, if that's sort of not resonating, you're more than welcome to switch the energy if necessary, and or you know, check your other placements as well. But you know, because I do feel that there may be a couple of Taurus out there that you know, like, no offense meant to anybody, but I do feel as though there may be some Taurus out there where this was actually you who has done something suddenly and broken that connection because you were sort of thinking about yourself and not thinking about the connection. So, you know, like I said, I don't want to blame anybody or anything like that, but I do feel as though at least one or two of the Taurus out there may be sort of starting to recognize that they were the ones that actually, you know, they weren't giving as much as they were receiving within that connection. Like I said, obviously, if that's not you, that's not you. You know, take what resonates and don't worry about the rest. All right. But in the sort of closer to recent past of that connection, we have seen a huge sort of journey starting towards self-growth. We have the ship and the tree here. Well, the ship, and then that was clarified by the tree. So, you know, quite a lot of the time the ship can talk about, you know, physical journeys and travel. But when the tree has come out to confirm that, we are sort of really talking about, you know, traveling the waters of your soul, traveling, you know, that journey throughout your soul, and really starting to look at yourself in the manner of self growth, and what have you learnt from this connection, that you're not wanting to sort of repeat in the past, and so on, repeat in the future, and so on. So whatever's happened between you and this person, whether it was, you know, no one really you know, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to blame anyone, but you know, everyone is going to sort of have that in quite a lot of connections. Like, if you were the person to blame, there's probably quite a lot of blame laying with the other person as well. You know, everybody feels as though, you know, when a connection breaks down for some reason or another, you know, each person individually has a totally different perspective. Okay, so sort of realizing that, you know, their perspective may be different on what has happened between the two of you as well. So looking at, you know, all areas of self growth in that connection, and you know, it sent you on this journey of self growth. Okay, so I do really feel as though that's sort of a pretty simple message, saying that it did sort of result in you journeying into yourself and into your self growth, and learning a lot from whatever has happened within that connection. Now, the oracle that came out with that there, we have the self-indulgence card. So that does say focusing on self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, and self-appreciation. Okay, so, you know, nobody's perfect. So I feel as though you not only were willing to look at what that other person has done within the connection, but you were also willing to look at your own role within that connection as well. So, you know, that journey of self-growth is, you know, anyone that does watch this channel does know that I do love my shadow work stuff, and I do strongly suggest that everybody sort of, you know, look at themselves in the mirror, and you know, sort of see how we can be improving ourselves, you know, in the future for future connections and whatnot as well. All right, so I'm not really seeing any sort of other details about what possibly could be going on in the future with that connection from the past, but we'll have a look more directly at the future energy, the incoming energy for Taurus. New love energy for Taurus, please. Okay. And I'll grab you some oracle as well. These ones, they're the heart-shaped ones, so they do take me a moment to shuffle them, because, you know, shuffling the heart shapes is actually quite difficult. Taurus and new love, please. Okay, so I'm getting a bit of a mixed sort of message here. Um, Firstly, I do have the garden. Okay, so the garden is quite a sort of social place. It does talk about, going out and meeting up with people, accepting invitations to events, that, spending time with friends, out and being sociable. Okay, but what I'm actually seeing directly following that is that whip card. So that whip card kind of does sort of lead me to believe that you may be meeting somebody new in the near future, or if you haven't already, but it is going to lead to some sort of further drama. Okay, so we're seeing a bit of a journey here that may not be the easiest for you, Taurus, at this time. As we all sort of know, energies do fluctuate and change, and no one is sort of set to any path that you do not choose. So you can choose to avoid this, trouble when it comes, because what we're seeing next is that bear energy, and the bear really does talk about self-protection and standing in your own power, staying strong. Okay, so I'm feeling that there may be some challenges with that whip card coming through again. There may just still be, some issues coming through. You might meet somebody who does just try to bring in some more drama to your life. But as long as you're standing firm in your power and, protecting yourself, that's actually, it has the ability to overshadow that whip energy there. Okay. So you may also be having a little bit of trouble working out exactly how to stand in your power and protect yourself. So once again, I would go back to that self-growth element of, really just looking at yourself. I do feel as though with the whip and the garden there, focusing on your social life may actually lead you to more drama, and lead you to not be able to protect yourself as well as you could if you were actually focusing more on your self growth at this time. So I do feel, Taurus, that the message is kind of letting you know that you need to focus on yourself and, focus on how to protect yourself in the future from these negative energies. And, like if trouble does arise, how are you going to deal with it in a better way than what we may have dealt with it in the past? Because we are also seeing the mouse energy. Okay, so I am feeling, Taurus, that you are on a bit of a path to, just holding yourself back a little bit at the moment, and so maybe really stopping and looking at yourself and, working out what you do need to change to stop yourself from ending up in this mouse energy. Okay, because the mouse energy can talk about like looking, like I feel as though it's talking about looking back at the things you've lost and, those things eating away at you and wishing that you had behaved in a different way. So, why not do those things now? Why not change those things now so that you're not having that occurring in the future, and there's no need for regret if you don't do anything to regret, if that makes sense. I do want to grab you some other cards there, because that, I don't like to be someone leaving negative sort of readings for everybody, but that's what I'm sort of seeing for you, Taurus, that you are in this bit of a hard energy coming up for you in the near future. So it's all about the bear is really standing strong, and really, like I said, protecting yourself first and foremost from all this drama around you. This may not even be, it may not even be drama that you're directly involved in, but if you don't stand up for yourself, it will sort of create this loss type energy for you. Okay. um New love energy for Taurus, please. New love energy for Taurus, please. And once again, I'm just seeing more possible issues, Taurus. I'm sorry, but I am seeing here that we're directly talking about your heart space. Okay, so that's the heart card has come out to sort of confirm these two cards, that we are talking about your heart space here, and the need for some sort of self-growth definitely needing to occur. We do have the snake and the child card. Okay, so with the snake card, it feels as though you may have followed temptations without really thinking about it. The child card, it can mean a few different things, but all I'm kind of getting from this child card is the sense of sort of like immaturity, not thinking things through. Sort of, how kids will just sort of go and do something without even thinking about it and put themselves into danger. And I feel as though that's what may be happening here, Taurus, within your heart space, putting yourself into situations that you're not actually prepared for. So I really feel as though we are sort of needing to stop and look at how we may be deceiving ourselves when it does come to your heart space and love in general. It feels as though there is some immature factor that you just haven't quite grown into a positive space at the moment with your heart space. You may be holding on to too many things from the past. With that mouse card, you may be sort of letting things eat away at you in the past, but not actually working on fixing those things and looking at yourself in the picture. With that energy there, we can kind of sometimes, that can be interpreted as like a little bit of that victim mentality. Like, I'm not saying that you weren't the victim, because, you very well could have been the victim in this situation, but we do also need to sort of stop and have a look at how we have presented and how we have reacted, to being victimized or whatever. Like, everybody reacts differently, and are there things that you could have behaved in a more mature way towards those negative things, or whatever, so if someone else is like when we were kids, people used to always say, if so and so jumped off a bridge, would you too? And I feel as though you, Taurus, would just follow them blindly off that bridge. And I'm feeling that you need to sort of stop and look at yourself and sort of realize that no, you don't have to follow the same patterns and behaviors that other people are displaying towards you. You have the ability to grow through that and have your own set of behaviors and be more mature, be the bigger person, so to speak. So I do feel as though there is a bit of an element here of sort of needing to find that self-growth to be the bigger person, so to speak. And just a little, there's nothing wrong with any of this. Life is all about learning and growing as a person. All right, so like I said, I don't want to be negative towards you at all, Taurus, but everybody hits those stages in life where sometimes you are in that stage where you are, do really need to look at your own behavior and you know grow and be better from what you have been in the past. And like, I'm getting this strong sense that when I'm looking at these cards, I still am getting the sense that you guys want to do better than what may have, you don't want to put yourself in those same situations that you've been in the past. And one of the ways that we can avoid going into those same situations is looking at ourselves. Okay, because sometimes there's not always another person there to get closure, or a lot of time, if people have victimized you, they're not going to accept the blame one way or another, even if they were at fault. Other people, like, people just do not like to accept the blame. But when we're able to accept the blame for our own behaviors, and that's where self-growth really starts. Okay, so I do feel as though we are looking at an element of needing to do some shadow work here, Taurus. So I really hope I haven't triggered anybody today with what I have said, but I can only sort of say what I see, and this is what's come through in the cards today. Like I said, if that's not for you, that's not for you. Check your other placements or whatever. And this sort of really this oracle here, it really actually is probably a better way of wording this whole thing than what I have come out with, okay? Because, sometimes a lot of people, have difficulty expressing the things that they really want to get across. But this is kind of explaining to you what I kind of mean in a little, yeah. When it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. Okay, so you've done nothing right, you've done nothing wrong. It's all a process. It's all part of this learning experience, and it's all happened, enable for you to, learn more about yourself, learn more about life, learn more about love. Okay, and then we have don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do, for it is only in being true to yourself that you can be true to others. Okay, so that might mean a few different things for different people there. But I'm sorry if that has been a little bit harsh today, Taurus. I definitely do not mean to be. Like I said, I can only sort of say what I see. All right. But yeah, like I said, feel free to check your other placements, and you know what, feel more than welcome to leave me a comment telling me I'm full of it, because like I said, I'm just reading the cards. Okay, so and that's what we were sort of getting today. So hopefully next week our energy has improved a little bit, Taurus, and we can get through these things together. Okay, but like I said, we all go through stages where we need to do that. And there's been a lot of times where I've been confronted with similar messages. Okay. And it's all about how you deal with it from here on, and how you sort of use these things to learn and grow, and change behaviors that you're not happy about for yourself. Okay. It's all about you guys. It's not about me as a reader. It's about you and how you truly feel inside, and following your own heart and intuition as well. Okay. But thank you so much for your time today, Taurus. I wish you all the best, okay?